Okay, so for those who were here yesterday, you will see that the sadhana is a little bit different, because also it includes the stages of the path at the beginning, which is really nice. So we start at page 5, and we just read it. Many people will recognize something, the ones who have done these Discovering Buddhism stages, or who are practicing and studying Buddhism. So why we are saying these things is just to remind ourselves why we practice, because very quickly, one gets into the habit of wanting to practice because you want to be happy now. Yeah. So then when you have a so-called terrible meditation and the mind is absolutely not on the object and it goes everywhere, you think then that you did something wrong. Okay? But that's no. At the moment, the purpose is that you see that your mind is all over the place. That's enough. You just need to see what's going on. You just need to train the mind what's going on. Whether then, you can do that with the mind who's totally calm, knowing that the mind is calm, or knowing that the mind is totally not calm, then you see that, and that's fine. So this is cinnamon. Don't worry, she will calm down. So it's a little bit like that in the meditation also. Like lots of cinnamons are always coming, And then we want to touch and to hug, or then is cinnamons maybe that bite you a little bit, then go away, and all this. So actually somebody, like if you do shamatha meditation, it is like holding a tray with glasses in a room which is full of cats. So you have to be very careful, and from time to time the cat is jumping on your tray with glasses and knocks the glasses off, like I can't pay my bills, my partner is maybe cheating me. These cats. The thoughts are like the cat. So you can train with cinnamon. She's not lonely. She's very well loved and cared for. She gets enough love and attention. So just leave her and stay with the sadhana, okay? But we can see the temptation of, wanting to touch and wanting to hold. But she's fine. She's not depressed. She's okay. Okay, I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings, and Lord of all supreme beings. Please, Guru Buddhas, bestow on me the ability to unify my mind with the Dharma and be successful in practicing Dharma in order to achieve the graduated path. May no hindrances occur while achieving this path. Please bless me to realize that I have received the perfect human rebirth, which is highly meaningful for many reasons, difficult to obtain, but perishable, transient, and fragile, decaying in the shortest moment because of its changeable nature. Thus my death is definite, but its actual time is most indefinite, and after death I am far more likely to be reborn in the lower suffering realms, having created infinitely more negative than positive karma, in this life and all previous lives. I know that this sounds a bit exaggerated, but one of the negative mind states is also wrong views and envy and like harmful thoughts. Or one of the negative emotions is also arrogance. So we don't pay too much attention to these things because there's no action that goes with it. But still, it's like even we do a positive action, we still have this feeling there's a real I doing a real action to a real other. So this is why it's flawed. It's not negative karma, but it's flawed. But when we look, when you know the 4 factors of karma, and we look how many really 4 factors present positive actions do we do, and how many 4 factors present negative actions do we do, even though the negative actions are small, and we don't purify afterwards, it's like, yeah, it's not so fantastic. But we don't need to feel bad about it. I mean, this is why we're doing these practices, in order to purify the potentials of our negative actions so that they don't give a result. This is why we're doing this. Yeah. Please bless me to comprehend how incredibly unendurable is the suffering of the lower realms, that I might take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha with all my heart, and realize the evolution of karma in all its profundity, that I might perform only virtuous actions and abandon all negative creations. By practicing in this way, I will be reborn in the upper realms, but will still have to experience unlimited samsaric suffering because of uncontrolled delusion and karma. Please bless me to realize fully the evolution of samsara, from uncontrolled rebirth to death to rebirth, and to follow day and night the 3 higher trainings of the path, higher conduct, higher concentration, and higher wisdom, which are the main methods to release me from samsara. But as each sentient being has been my mother, and as most of them are in extreme suffering, please bless me to bring success to all by renouncing the perfect happiness of self and practicing the Bodhisattva's deeds of the 6 perfections with the Bodhisattva's mind of exchanging self with others on the basis of equanimity meditation. Shall I have no sorrow in experiencing the samsaric suffering of all other sentient beings for no matter how long, having trained my mind in the general path. Please bless me to follow the quick Vajrayana teachings by feeling sentient beings suffering, very unimaginably unbearable for even the shortest moment as my own, and to achieve the attainment of Shakyamuni Buddha immediately at this very moment, by keeping my ordinations and the instructions of the Guru with the best and highest care, for the sole purpose of enlightening all sentient beings. Okay. So then you visualize above the crown of your head, you visualize the lotus and the moon disk. Again, the lotus symbolizes renunciation, the moon disk bodhicitta. Upon these is the great treasury of compassion, Aryatara, mother of all enlightened beings, who is oneness with my kind root Guru. So here again, if you don't have a guru, like a human being that you consider as your master, then you just visualize Tara, that's fine. But if you have a guru that you consider as your master, it can be male or female, it doesn't matter. But these persons, they are too close to us. We don't really see them as Buddhas because we're not trained enough to see them as Buddhas. So this is why we kind of mix it now with Tara. Because Tara, again, is too far away from us. It's some kind of fantasy figure. Yeah. So we think that the one I see as a human being, which is my master, which is my guru, then actually, in actuality, is Tara. But because I can't perceive Tara, then I see the guru. And this is why here it's very well done. It is mixed, the two of them. But every time you actually visualize a Buddha, you know, if you do tantric practices, you always think that this is your guru or the person who gave you the initiation. So this is also a big part of practicing, which is this guru devotion. And again, one needs to say a lot of things to this topic because there can be abuse if you don't really know what a master or a guru is. So my guru is seated in full lotus position within a transparent bubble of rainbow-colored light, is pink in complexion and wears saffron robes and a pandit's hat. So you see the guru in his form, with his face, with his features, but in a kind of in a body that is much more subtle, like in a rainbow body also. His right hand is at his heart in the gesture of teaching the Dharma and holds a vajra and the stem of a white lotus that blooms beside his right ear. His left hand rests on his hip. It holds a bell and the stem of another white lotus that blooms beside his left ear. If you can't visualize clearly because it's new to you, it doesn't really matter so much. And also, if this is totally new, you probably don't have a guru. So then just think of some enlightened energy there. Like we try to feel the presence of that enlightened energy because the minds and the hearts of the Buddhas is always present. That energy is always there, is always around us because this is one of the qualities of a fully awakened being. It's all pervasive, it's all pervading, it's always there. So then how we visualize Tara now, Tara is being visualized at the Guru's heart. But then if you don't have a guru, then you just visualize Tara also sitting on an open lotus and on a moon disk. So at my guru's heart is Aryatara in female aspect, green in color and seated in the dancing posture within a rainbow bubble. Her left leg is bent up and her right leg is outstretched. Her left hand is at her heart in the mudra symbolizing the triple gem and holding the stem of a blue upali flower. The gesture symbolizing the triple gem is like the fingers are raised, like they're looking upward, and it's the thumb and the ring finger touching, like making a circle. Palm is facing outward. Her right hand extended over her right knee is in the mudra of granting sublime realizations. So this is just the palm, kind of fingers downward, palm outwards, and it's just extended as if something is flowing from it. So that's the gesture of giving. She's beautifully adorned with jeweled ornaments and scarves, and at her 3 places bears the syllables Om, Ah, Hum. So the 3 places are at the crown. There is a white Om, or at her forehead, but inside, because she has a rainbow body, is transparent, so you can see it. At her throat is a red Ah, and at her heart is a blue Hum. But at her heart is also a lotus and a moon seat on which stands a radiant green syllable Tam. Rays of green light radiate in all directions from the Tam and invoke all the enlightened beings of the 10 directions. They are all absorbed into Aryatara and become one. So here we get, we familiarize ourselves with all the Buddhas are one, and the Buddhas are all other Buddhas also. So that by nature they are the same, but because for us they manifest in different forms because we have different predispositions. So from the syllable Tam at her heart, light rays are going out, and you think that it invites the whole enlightened energy to come to this place and to sink into the syllable Tam, or to sink into her body. Now again, this would not be necessary if we would have trust that the Buddha's minds are all the time everywhere. But it's for our own sake, so that, by holding or by kind of by getting the energy from somewhere else, we become aware that the energy is always here. So we think about this energy being all-pervading. So then we make a heartfelt prayer, which is also not necessary because she's always there. It's just for us because we forget that she's always there. Please remain above my head until I receive full awakening. And then we do the normal taking refuge. If you're familiar with it, then you say the words. If you never heard this before, then maybe better, don't bother. Or while we say the word, think, with whatever method is there, I want to become a good human being, kind of. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. And the 7-limb prayer we do in order to purify negative karma and to get some positive energy. With my body, speech, and mind, I devoutly prostrate. I offer all offerings, both real and imagined. Just a second. I'm really sad that they still haven't changed that word, because it's not sins. Okay, a sin is something when somebody says you have to do this or you're not allowed to do this, and then you do it, and then it's a sin. So Buddhism doesn't have any sins. Buddhism has negative actions and positive actions. And the Buddha didn't say you're not allowed to do this. The Buddha said you do a negative action, this happens. Then it's your responsibility if you do it or not. But you're not being punished by the Buddha. So it's not what we understand with a sin. If you do a sin, you're punished by a certain being who has the power to punish you. So I don't know why it's still here. So I thought they had changed it in the meantime. But we can say, all negative actions and offenses amassed from beginningless time, I confess. I rejoice in all virtuous actions of holy and ordinary beings. O Gurus and Buddhas, please remain until samsara ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. All my virtues and those of all others I dedicate to the great enlightenment. Then, by offering the mandala, we try to offer a perfect universe, so that we get some confidence that all beings have the potential to be free from suffering. Then also the universe is not suffering anymore, because we'll perceive it in a different way. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. And then we give everything away that prevents us from being able to manifest the pure land. The objects of my attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, my body, wealth, and enjoyments, without any sense of loss, I offer this collection. Please accept it with pleasure and bless me with freedom from the 3 poisons. Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kam Niryatayami. Okay, so now it's the purification. So if you don't, if you have problems visualizing Tara, then just offer, visualize a green light or something, and from there, but you have to give this light the capacity that it can nullify, or it can purify all the negative imprints that we have created and that have not manifested yet. But in order for this light to work, from your side, you need to recognize that we have done negative actions. Then you need to have trust that this works, because it's a bit like, it's not just a bit, it's like placebo, because it doesn't exist from its own side. But placebo works. So if you know that placebo works and you know it's a placebo, then it works double. So that's the trust that this light is going to eliminate all these negative potentials for us to have consequences that we don't like in the future. And then you also need to make a strong determination to oppose negative minds and negative actions. You will still do them, but at least to have a wish to be able not to be to be controlled too much by these negative emotions that push us to do negative actions. So if you fulfill your part of these attitudes from your side, then the light that is coming from Tara's 3 places will definitely eliminate those negative imprints. Because also these negative imprints are empty from their own side. They do not exist as solidly as we think that they exist. So we ask for purification. Please bless me to purify all obscurations of my body, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So we're not asking her to purify it, we're asking her to bless us to purify. So you have to do the job. We're taking Tara as a support. And if you have enough confidence in your Buddha potential, you don't need Tara. Or if the Tara that is on your crown, you visualize it as the future result of this practice, then that's the most powerful way of taking refuge. It's called the resultant refuge. If you have absolutely no faith in anything, but you still visualize the light coming into you, I think something will still happen, but I don't know. Because most of the work that is being done for the purification is your attitudes. By visualizing Tara, by visualizing the white light coming now from her Om at her brow, curves into an arc to enter your brow. You think that your body is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So here we let go of our ordinary view, who and what we are. So, as I say, if you've never done this, this is very strange. But you get used to it if you want to. But you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. The white light symbolizes our body. So we think that now what is getting purified, all potentials that we have to suffer from consequences of actions of killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. So just allow the white light coming from her brow, from the white Om at her brow, arching down, entering your brow, like the point between the eyebrows, and it gradually fills your body and dissolving all the solidity of your body. You keep your form, and your body is getting filled with this white light, and you think, this is the body I will have when I have attained full awakening, a body made of light. But then, because, when you're awakened and because of your aspirations of helping others, you will still be able to manifest in a human body. But that will be just a manifestation again. The next one, we purify actions of the speech. Please bless me to purify all obscurations of my speech, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vaja speech. So you visualize red light emanates from the A at Arya Tara's throat, curves in an arc to enter my throat. The speech is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vaja speech. So this time this red light is entering your throat, and you think you're purifying all negative imprints that have been created through lying, through harsh words, through divisive speech, and through meaningless talk. And you think that you're not just purifying like the consequences, that people would lie to you, people would gossip about you, people would kind of slander you and use harsh words against you. You also think that the tendencies to do that is getting purified. The next one is the mind. Please bless me to purify all obscurations of my mind, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vaja mind. And this time blue light emanates from the Hung at Tara's heart, curves in an arc to enter your heart. The mind is purified of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vaja mind. So here we purify wrong views, harmful thoughts, and envy or covetousness. And we purify especially the tendencies to to repeat these attitudes or these thoughts. So then one would say, if one has purified the karmic imprints, then what remains is still some kind of very subtle energy, which is like the traces that are being left behind. They say, like when you have garlic in a container, even you take the garlic out, the smell is still there. So there will be no more results, but these very subtle kind of traces that are left are an obstruction for omniscience. So that is being purified now by thinking, please bless me to purify all delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience, so that my body, speech and mind will become one with Guru Tara's holy body, speech and mind. So this time you visualize the three colored beams emanate simultaneously from the Om, Ah and Hung syllables, curving in an arc and entering my three places, meaning the point between the eyebrows, the white light, the point at your throat is the red light, the point at your heart is the blue light, completely purifying all the delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience. My body, speech and mind becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body, holy speech and holy mind. So then, taking the result into the path, you think, wow, now everything that hinders me to be a compassionate, loving and wise person has totally been eliminated. So we nourish the trust and the faith that we have these qualities, which are actually a natural ingredient of a pure mind. So then the next part is actually for people who have had initiation. So the others who don't have initiation, you just keep the green Tara at your crown, but still thinking that you don't exist as solidly as you seem to exist, or as it appears, because now it's really dissolving everything into emptiness. So first the root Guru dissolves into Arya Tara, who is at his heart. Then Tara dissolves into green light, and that green light dissolves into you through your crown, and you think through that, the wrong conception that I and all other phenomena are self-existent, together with the dualistic mind and its views, disappear, becoming completely empty. Not even a trace of them remains. If you can, you concentrate one pointedly on this empty state with the wisdom that it is undistinguishably one with Guru Tara's blissful, omniscient mind. Like all thoughts, all concepts, all views, everything that comes from the grosser mind totally disappears. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to familiarize ourselves with the nature of our mind, which is the clear light, where nothing appears. So if you want to have a picture, you just picture where you visualize the empty sky. Limitless, no beginning, no end, no clouds, nothing. No obstructions, just space, luminous space. That is the nature of our mind. But then that space itself is also empty, so don't make that inherently existing. And then also, this is just like ultimate reality. One doesn't want to stay in that emptiness, because on the path you practice wisdom and compassion. So you do all this in order to be of benefit to others. So now, out of compassion, you arise, if you have initiation, in the form of Arya Tara. Otherwise, as you said, Tara is at your crown. So out of that emptiness, your wisdom manifests instantly as Arya Tara's holy body, seated upon a lotus and moon cushion. At your heart is another lotus and moon, upon which in the center stands the syllable Tam, surrounded in a clockwise direction by the syllables of the mantra Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. The Tam and the mantra are manifestations of Guru Tara's holy mind, with which my mind is totally united. So there you go. This is what Tantra is all about. It's this unification of the Guru's mind, your mind, the Buddha's mind. By nature, it is all the same. So even though we can't feel it, but at least first conceptually, we kind of approach it. Then we have to let go of all concepts. So then green light radiates from all the letters, spreading in every direction. It purifies the negative karmas, gross delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience of all sentient beings who become Tara. So we will do this visualization if you want, and then as we recite the mantra. So you can put beings that you know are suffering a lot, you put them in the space in front of you or very close to you, and you see that from, if you don't have initiation, then light comes from Tara's heart at your crown. So we do it for them, we do the purification for them. If you have initiation and you are Tara, then it comes from your heart and it touches all these beings. So you can put as many as you want, one person, many people, the whole universe. And as the light enters their body, you visualize them turning into or transforming into green Tara. So we do the mantra a few times loud together, but then continue to do it silently because it's easier to visualize as you do it silently. Om Tare Tu Re Soa. 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 Tare Tu Re Soa. So just keep visualizing, and the more beings you can put there, then the wider your mind becomes, because it's in order for the mind to become very spacious and very, very wide. So don't keep it as narrow as it is usually. Tare tu re soha. Then you switch the visualization, because tantric practice has to do a lot with increasing our joy. Joy and bliss, like the bliss of emptiness. Like it's not just emptiness is a nothingness, but because in this emptiness, in this understanding of emptiness, there is the joy and there is the bliss. So now we think that all beings have become Tara, and all other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are also there. So again, it's in order to make the mind very wide and very vast and very spacious. So you think you're making offerings to all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and to all beings who have become Tara. So you can visualize whatever you want to offer. It can be delicious food, delicious drinks, wonderful sounds, beautiful smells, very smooth touches, like things that please the senses. Out of gratitude, out of joy, you offer it to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and to all the beings who have become Tara, while you continue to recite the mantra. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Som Tare Tu Tare Tu Som Tare Tu Tare Su Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Som Tare Tu Tare Tu. And then the third visualization is like the enlightened beings are extremely pleased and shower down the superlative qualities of Buddha Tara's holy body, holy speech and holy mind, omniscient wisdom, supreme power and infinite compassion in the form of a great shower of green light rays. As you continue to recite the mantra, you absorb these light rays and you feel blessed and inspired by this rain. Now, if you're totally convinced that you are Tara, then you don't need that. But because we have such strong views that we are not Tara, this is why at the end we kind of receive the blessings again of all the Taras. A blessing is something that, you know, it doesn't work from its own side. We need to be touched by the blessing. We need to be inspired by the blessing. Then it works as what we call a blessing. Kind of something that influences us. So now you just see like you're surrounded by multiple, innumerable green Taras, and all of them from their hearts, green light rays are coming, entering your crown if you feel comfortable that it enters your crown. This you can do even if if you don't have initiation. It's a very important part of the practice. And you feel totally inspired, blessed, supported, that whatever you need for your practice to attain full awakening is coming through these light rays, and you absorb them into you. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re So. Okay, so that's basically already it, then the dedication. May I quickly become Guru Arya Tara and lead each and every sentient being into her enlightened state because of these merits. May the Supreme Jewel Bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow. May that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. Okay.